For tuning in to Grazing with the Goat. We have
Episode
a
number one.
episode number 1.
Oh
We got a
man,
very special guest with us tonight. We got Grant.
special. We all know what
Special.
it means. We know
So
what
this
he
is
means.
Grant, everybody. For those that know him and those that don't, this is Grant.
Yeah, you'll see me in chat. Usually saying something really fucked up. I won't hold back anytime right now. Pretty normal. Yannick, I see your wife's in here. Hello,
Mama
Ashley.
Goat's here,
Yep.
Munchie, Andrew, North Storm,
But yeah, no aliens named.
Abigail,
I'm Grant
Finding
in
Joy.
chat. Grant here.
Yeah, so Joel, how's it going? We are going to be talking about we're going to kind of get into the upcoming fishing season. But mainly what we're going to be going over is our top 5 favorite fishing lures. Just ones that we like to use.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm fortunate to be where I'm at. I don't have to deal with quite the hard water season you do, although we've got our share of it this year. I know you're chomping at the bit to get back out there.
Yeah, the ice can't leave soon enough.
Let's see. November 13th was the last time we all got to see goat on open water, and it was for the Goat Strikes Back. The Goat Strikes Back. Oh,
I can't remember. Was that the one where I had to break through the ice? I had to break through the ice like the last 2 times I was out on the water.
You did, yeah. I just remember the captions were the Goat Strikes Back, but not really.
Not really.
I don't remember how productive it was.
Yeah, I think it was 0. Big old goose egg.
North? Was it a 0? Did you end the season on a skunk?
Yes, I did.
Oh wow!
How did it was like they weren't hitting anything. I don't know. I couldn't find them.
I'm not sure how I let that slide.
Yeah, yeah. Dan, how's it going? No, we ended the season on. I think. Oh, it was like the last few trips I went, I got skunked. That's when I was just like, screw this.
That's a tough time, man. It's like you get that fall peak big fish, like you're seeing a lot of good quality fish there for a window, and then all of a sudden they kind of drop off and they go in those deep holes and they make those transitions, and you at the time not fishing with electronics, which is changing this season. I mean, that's exciting. It makes it a difficult thing because you do have fish that are stacked up, but they've gone deep, and if you can't see them that's a hard locate.
It is hard to find, yeah. And I don't know, I don't have like the biggest arsenal of stuff to like know what they were hitting. I don't really usually use live bait, but once that comes next year, I should say later this year, trying some of that too, is using live bait to see if that changes anything with them.
I mean, pike wise and stuff like that, I like a lot of times in winter, dead bait is the go-to for it. They don't want to move to eat, but they will eat a lot of dead fish.
Okay.
But yeah, you get into these lulls that I mean, I guess you could say it's a lull. It's basically a time of season that you have to put the bait right in front of them and hit them with it.
Yep. Thank you, Fishy Things. How's it going, Fishy Things? Glenn?
Fishy?
Dan? Thanks for coming in, everybody. Yeah, we're just hanging out, talking about our favorite fishing lures. We haven't hopped into that yet.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We're talking a little bit, warming up, getting ready for Goat to have some ice-free water. We're looking what? You think mid-April?
I'm hoping so, if we're lucky.
I looked at your forecast and I don't think it's gonna be.
No.
I looked at it, I was like,
because the nights are still cool. Like it was 50 degrees today, which is like, I don't know, probably like close to a record or something, if not.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But it's still cool enough at night for ice to be made,
It is. Well, and the thing is, like, I figured with our warm up coming up, I figured maybe you guys might get some of that. And it does not look like that because I'm going into the 70s down here in St. Louis, and you are dropping back down into the highs of the 20s. And I'm like,
Yeah,
just heartbreaking. Just don't even look at the weather app. Like, just
I
do
know.
yourself a favor
I
and
know.
don't, you know?
I might be going ice fishing on Sunday with the buddy. We'll see. It's not set in stone, but
Sand
he
Lake,
asked me. Sand Lake. Yeah, I don't
Sand
know.
Lake.
I honestly don't know yet.
I see
Thank you,
Megan here,
Megan,
your super
for the
chat.
5.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
that's
Fishy's
pretty
plotting
awesome.
to throw some lures in the river next couple days.
Yeah, what's going on there?
JD, what's up, JD?
I
Negative
apologize if you
audio.
missed anything in chat because I'm old and I don't see well.
It's okay, Grant.
That's all right. I know. I see well
Yeah,
enough to kill deer. That's about it. -40, Munchie. Oh my god. I didn't want to think about that.
you can keep that if that's what you got.
I don't miss that shit at all. I mean, we get some cold, but I don't miss the Minnesota cold.
You just stay inside. It's like 80
That's the
degrees in
problem,
now.
man. Yeah, but that's the problem, you know? Like
Stay
we talk
inside for
about,
2 weeks.
you're
Welcome in
inside for
Asriel and
3 months.
Gabriel.
And next thing you know, you think eating raw meat sandwiches is a good idea. And that's how we got the tiger meat sandwich in Minnesota and Wisconsin. People going fucking crazy because they've been inside for too long and they just start eating raw meat.
Not me. Not me.
Yet.
I've went 34. Yeah, maybe that kicks in when I get a little older. I've gone 34 years without eating that, so.
You never know. Yeah, I mean, you
Yep.
get old enough, man. You start getting gray in the beard like me, and you lose some taste buds. You get a little bit more adventurous, I guess.
I don't know. I already lost my
And,
hair, so.
you rub the raw meat on your hair. Like, oh my goodness, that's
Fishy
hilarious.
likes the tiger meat.
No shit. Raw meat sandwiches are great.
Mm.
I'm gonna take your word on that, man. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, I'll definitely take your,
I have,
especially if it's
you can
tiger.
have mine. You can go ahead, have mine. Beautiful
Negative.
couple. Look at that.
Yo, thank you,
I
JD.
know. When we make beautiful children? Probably not.
Hail. That's
Jesus
right.
Christ. I'm Big Spoon, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. If I don't know if we want to disclose that, but that would be cool if that happened.
If we had children?
No, 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 no. You mother.
Oh my
My-
god, that's hilarious.
What's up, Matt? Going to go to 4 a.m. again? No. No.
Oh, hey, I can't go until 4 a.m. Unfortunately.
No, I can't. I can't either.
Yeah, swim meet in the morning.
I had my one beer for the night. I'm not going to the fridge for any more. You guys can't make me.
Look at you start spinning some records and fucking playing
Yeah.
your air guitar and
Jamming out all that age. That's right. Bigfoot once claimed to have seen me in the woods, but nobody believed him.
It was me. If people don't know,
Grand.
that is my nickname.
Ruby.
People that know me, it is Squatch. They know me as Squatch.
Good old Squatch.
Yeah. Anyways, when's Pat coming back? I mean,
I think I don't know. They're gonna be their foundation is going up this spring. I wanted to say March or April. I honestly don't remember the exact. Yeah.
They're building right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In Minnesota.
Yep.
In order to still leave in the winter?
Yep. Yep. They're still gonna leave in the winter.
I wish I had that problem.
Yeah,
wants to know how big of a whopper flopper. Francisco.
What's the best Whopper? Grant could tell you.
Grant's got this. Own one.
Grant's got this category down.
I don't even own one.
I don't know if he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about the fishing lure there.
I've been married for a long time. My wife took my whopper plopper away.
Rude, what's up?
Oh
Show
my
and
goodness.
tell. Hand-tied
March,
lures and
March for Pat. Pat's got a new addition. I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit the other night when you're spinning records, but paddleboard Pat's not going to be paddleboard Pat anymore.
no, paddleboard Pat will not be. He's going to be pedal boat Pat now, as you
Pedal
dubbed
boat
it.
Pat.
Pedal
Yeah,
boat Pat, yeah.
he picked up a new boat. Has he taken it out on the Virginia coast or anything like that?
He sent me a picture of him in it that his wife must have taken, but yeah, he's gotten it out on the water.
Okay, okay. Did he talk about how it's like carrying a Titanic or anything like that? Or
No, no, he
because
didn't.
I know we were looking at the weights on it, and you guys only have like 7 pounds difference between the motorized and the pedal. Like,
Yeah,
buddy,
yeah, they're heavy. They are heavy. How do you
how do you
lure in the
lure in the
ladies?
ladies? Oh my god,
I couldn't tell you. It's been a while.
yeah, I've been, I mean, with a face like this, I don't have to work that hard, buddy. It just happens.
Those devilishly good looks. You just
uh,
gotta look
I have
good.
to I have to post a picture of my family just so people have actually like, believe me that I'm out there procreating.
Thank you, Dan, with the goat trophy. Let's go.
Yeah, check it
Mama
out.
goat with a happy poop. You guys are awesome.
That came out of your account, buddy.
Yeah, just just giving
Oh,
just giving 30% of it to YouTube as well.
there we go. See, just 30% net
That's right.
loss.
YouTube's got to stay afloat. We can't
Add girl math
can't
into that, man. You save
the girl
money.
math.
Oh my goodness, dude, you want to dive into these lists?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You
I
start,
will.
man.
I will start. Yeah. So we are doing our top 5 favorite fishing lures. And Grant actually came up with this idea.
I did not.
So
He's wearing.
you
Don't
did,
believe
you
anything
did, you
Doug
did. You
says.
got to get some. You got to get some credit here.
Drag
But
yourself
yeah.
up there.
So we went through and picked. We went through our tackle boxes and grabbed our favorite 5 lures, and I'm gonna start it off here with the chatterbait.
Oh,
Number 5, the chatterbait. Yep. And I just started using these this year. The first outing, I did really good. I mean, the bass were just smashing this thing. The bass and pike,
I
they
remember
just
that.
yeah,
Out
they
on big.
yep. They'll just I don't know. And
I mean,
it's a
sand. I'm sorry, sand.
no, it's okay. Um let's see here. It's a fairly weedless lure too. I mean, it's not totally weedless. Like sometimes this thing will get caught up, like the part that chatters, I guess. This will get caught up in the weeds sometime, but I mean, it'll pull through some weeds and stuff. So, and it
So you're
just
seeing. You
what-
talk about like your applications where you're wanting to like actually use that or why you're liking it. Like, are you liking it for those open lanes you're seeing in the weed beds or?
yeah, because this thing will, this thing just starts making a bunch of commotion in the water, and that just triggers those aggressive fish to want to slam it. And when you put like a swim bait on there too, paddle tail, they see that and they just want it in their bellies. So yeah, this is my number 5, the chatterbait. I actually got this from Crappie Man Jigs, but there's other brands that make them and stuff.
But yeah, I
So
mean,
yeah,
if you know Crappie Man Jigs or if you don't know them, check them out.
yep,
You know,
exactly.
uh, dude
Turner's
makes
a cool
a
Turner's a
good
cool
lure.
dude.
Yeah. Turner is good stuff.
Northstorm, is that a used one with bite marks on it? I don't know that this one. Yeah, it's been. I don't know if you can see. There's
Oh
some
yeah, you
pike
can
teeth
see
that have been
them.
sunken
Yeah,
into there. Yeah.
yeah. You give it a little twist, you can really see it.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
we know
So
that
I
you're going to
mean,
use that one on the last trip.
So yeah, that's my fifth favorite fishing lure on my
Number
list.
5. Let me dig
The
into my
chatterbait.
stuff over here. Let's
Hey,
see what
Abigail, Yoshi.
number 5 on my number 5 list. I have the Rebel crayfish.
Okay.
This actually, when I was still living in Minnesota, was one of my favorite lures for river fishing. It's also got my personal PB for largemouth bass, which is a kind of strange one, but a 26.5-inch largemouth out of the California Delta off of this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and in a weird situation where it was actually I was just twitching it over a hump, and that fish was sitting on that hump, and a bucket of water just fell out and landed it. But I like it for rivers mostly. Not I don't really use it for lake situations. For myself, I know people that do. Rocky riverbeds where crayfish are a natural forage for smallmouth. It's a smallmouth killer right there. Tight action, real tight wobble. Um, get it in a variety of different colors. I think one of the nest robbers is probably one of my favorite colors. It's got a blue tip on the end. But yeah, that's my number 5.
Yeah, little goat. When Pat and I had taken him out on a lake, my buddy's lake that I went to a few times this year. Um, little goat caught 2 fish on his own with one of those, but it was a lot smaller. I think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, the teeny craw, they call it.
Yep, the teeny
Yep.
craw. Yeah, he caught a little bluegill and a little largemouth on it.
Yeah, yeah, you'll see like with a lot of my baits, some of the baits are going to be smaller because like I said, these are baits, my top 5 for I need a fish, I need to get the skunk off.
Mm-hmm.
Downsizing baits is always been a key for me for you're talking 40 years of fishing. Downsize, catch something, work my way up, you know.
And sometimes even, sometimes the bigger fish want something smaller too.
Absolutely.
Sometimes there's just something going on with them where they're not intrigued by a big bait sometimes.
Yeah. I
Sometimes.
think a lot of times your water clarities and stuff like that have a lot to do with it, where they're seeing a lot better
Yeah.
than what they did in a murky condition. And they get a good look at some of that stuff and they're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Can spot it from a mile away.
Exactly. You're out
Gimme
there throwing
can.
a glowing, 6-inch jerk bait that's got purple glitter on it. And it's like, whoa, no.
Making all
We're
this
gonna
weird
pass on
noise.
that one. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna give me a stomach ache. You know,
Dan
yeah,
says for bass, a classic metal Coke bottle lid, a punch, a swivel, and a treble hook, or strawberry Pop Tarts for panfish.
dude, I've seen the Coke bottle top spoons before. I've never fished one, but I've seen people use them.
I haven't seen
Um,
anybody use them, but I've seen like pictures and videos of
now,
people making them and stuff.
yeah, now it's like an Etsy product. You got every,
Yeah.
you got a girl that's making soaps and then freaking Coke cap, spoons.
Yep. Fishy says pressure too. Dan says cold water, slow and small.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, slowing down in cold water is a big thing.
Yeah, because
We're dealing.
if
You're
you
dealing
think
with
about it,
cold-blooded animals.
yep. And you think about it, yeah, they just totally, hey, mama goat.
Sam says trouser snake. I don't know if they have that in my Bass Pro or not. I'll have to check sometime.
Peace, what's up?
It may be sold in the bathroom.
You just don't know. You don't know.
What you got on your number 4?
My number 4 is a spoon, a daredevil,
The classics.
the classic, dude. I
That
mean,
is the
these
classic right
things,
there.
this one hasn't been used either,
That one does not
but
have any pipe marks on it.
no pike marks. Pat will be
Pat would
proud of
be
me for
proud. That's
Pat would be
funny.
proud. Yeah.
I would say
I
Pat would
mean,
be proud.
dude, these things have stood the test of time, you know.
Absolutely.
I mean, they wouldn't be.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff and gimmick stuff they make for fishing, but I mean, they wouldn't be making this still if it didn't, you know, catch you fish. Like,
You know, that's funny that you talk about stuff like that because I think about that sometimes when we're fishing and um falling to the glam of product placements, people selling stuff. And I've fallen into it myself before where it's like the newest thing that
it's
comes
easy.
out. And it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's not
It's
always the
easy to.
case. Yeah, no, it
It's
is.
really easy to. Yeah, you're like, okay, because you can like process it in your mind. Like, oh, I can see how, you know, it's
Mm-hmm.
they're good with the marketing and the product design or whatever to be like, oh, this looks like, yeah, it would actually work. But
They've definitely stepped up their game since like the
yeah,
banjo minnow at 2 a.m. when you're like,
yes,
you know, spun out from too much cocaine and you decide that you're going to order a case of the banjo minnows
yep.
on a credit card that's probably already maxed out.
But yeah, the Daredevil. I mean, this thing will catch a variety of so many different, like, aggressive species. You know,
Right.
this thing will catch catfish. It'll catch walleye. It'll catch pike. It'll catch bass. I mean, pretty much
That
anything that swims and wants to eat something. You know,
the
I mean,
coverage you
perch.
get with it. The coverage. You
Yeah,
can cast it a
exactly. I mean,
mile.
you can whip these things, yeah, like a mile. Like you have to be careful not to throw it too far because
Yeah. Spool
when
yourself. Yeah.
you're used to casting your normal baits and stuff, especially if it's a lighter one or whatever, you know, you can throw it as hard as you can, and you know it'll only go so far. You throw this thing on, and you feel like you're the greatest caster in the world because this thing just it'll cut through the wind, it'll cut through any. It just
It's like getting a
it
dose of it's like getting a dose of ED medicine. You just, you think you're the best or something, Bust out the spoon. Let me show them what's up.
But yeah, I mean, as long as you're not like you can fish these. I mean, you really want like more of an open lane, or you know, where if like the weeds are, I don't know, like 6 to 8 feet below you or something.
They do like to catch some cabbage, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's all part of this right here. I mean, these come in different weights or whatever, but yeah, treble hooks are they're good for catching fish, but they're good for catching everything else too. You know, so
The one thing that they do have is that Johnson makes the weedless spoon that's a single hook with a weed barb
yes,
on it.
I have one of those. I think I want to say it's Northland that makes a variation of it. They
Yeah.
call it the Jawbreaker or whatever, and it's got
Yep.
that one's got like little tassels on it too, like, and then yeah, like the hook. So there's no treble, but like the hook comes under here,
Yep.
and
I
yeah,
don't feel like
I've used
I
that.
don't I don't know if they're as effective, and I almost wonder if it has to do with the noise that comes from the snap ring and the treble hook on there with that
That
swing.
that could be too, and I've noted, you know, like they got to hit that thing a certain way too in order to actually get hooked up on that hook because you know it's like really close to the metal, and yeah, I haven't had as much luck with those as I have, you know, with these. I mean, I've seen just watching Pat fish them so much this year. He caught a catfish on him. He caught a walleye on him, pike, bass. You know, I mean, and depending on the size, if you size it down, you'll be catching perch and you know,
Let's just say, I
uh,
mean, you're talking people are using them for salmon,
yeah,
trout.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
using everything. Yeah.
Anything
Any,
that, yeah,
basically, any
and
fish with a forward-facing mouth
exactly,
gonna go after it.
exactly. Yes. So that's my number
Well,
four, the Daredevil.
I'm going into my number 4 here. Let me open up. I got my little boxes here because I am notorious for bringing out small boxes when I go because I don't feel like carrying everything with me when I'm targeting certain species.
Oh, it's a
And
pain in the ass to just
no, it is. Number 4 for me is going to be the rooster tail.
Oh yeah.
Uh, it is another one, universal, just like the daredevil. Uh, if it's got a forward-facing mouth, you're gonna get something.
Another
Um,
another lure that stood the test of time, those inline
absolutely.
spinners.
Yeah, any of the inline spinners. I'm a fan of the rooster tail. I wish they made them a little bit bigger for some of the stuff. Like, you get in the northern waters where you got pike and muskie, and I like the lead bodies on them.
Yep.
Right here. I know that they do make a bigger size, but I'm talking, I want to see it in like a 7 or 8 inch spinner
Yep.
with the same configurations, because I do like the paint patterns that come on them.
Yeah,
Um,
they do have some really nice ones. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, these are all lures, like, the ones that you're talking about, the ones I'm talking about. These are like, if you're new into fishing, or just in doubt of what to bring out with you, these are those kind of lures that wherever you are in the country, if you have these in your tackle box, your success rate's going to climb um, on catching the fish. I mean, these are just those all around good lures.
Absolutely. Yeah, those I love those things, man. I mean, hitting those on the river, it's man, I mean anywhere. They'll catch fish anywhere, but
And they
I know
bring it
the
up the river.
smallmouth
Yeah.
and trout, they go crazy for those. I mean,
And you bring up river and stuff like that, and inline spinners. I really have a love for using them on the river, just because of the streamline of it, where if I'm fishing currents or anything like that, it doesn't seem to affect the actual spinning of the blade as much. Where, like, sometimes with, like, say like your normal spinner baits and stuff like that, if you get a strong enough current, they kind of start doing weird things when you're bringing them
yep.
across. And I don't know if it necessarily deters the fish, but it deters my confidence, and confidence is
Yeah.
key on the water.
Yep.
I mean, I say that confidence is probably 80% of the fishing. The
Yep.
catching part.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're confident in the bait you're using, I mean, that
Absolutely.
really helps. It really helps. I
Yeah.
mean,
No.
because if you
No,
have
'cause you'll
confidence in
have
a bait,
baits that you use that I couldn't go out to catch something to save my life. Like,
yep.
I don't have the same success that you have with a spinner bait.
Hmm.
I just don't. I try. It's just not there. But
Yep.
I can grab something else and not have an issue with it. It really, I think it takes for us people as fishermen to really become determined and be like, I'm only taking this out and I'm going to fish it until I figure it out. And
Yep.
then eventually that confidence comes with it. Once you can figure out your cadences, patterns, so be it.
Yep. But it can be it's tough. It takes a lot of patience to do that too, to
Absolutely.
force
Uh,
yourself to use different stuff than what you're confident with.
it,
Like
it, it can become frustrating and deflating at the same
it
time. Like,
absolutely, because it's like, man, I just want to catch fish. I want to get this down, but I want to be catching fish too. I feel like I'm wasting my time out here.
fuck learning. I need to go back to what I'm used to fishing with, and
Yeah, yeah,
that's why we see the goat throwing half-ounce spinners through 8 inch holes in the ice. You see,
yeah.
he's trying to make it work.
What's up, King Boujou, brother? How are you? Hey, Hazel says, "Hi, I just started fishing and I do not know what baits to get, or I do not
Just
know
pay
what to
attention
get."
to the
Baits,
list that
man.
we're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pay attention
like,
to the list.
seriously. Yeah,
Grant just showed the rooster tail, an inline spinner. I mean, that'll catch you. That'll catch you something.
absolutely.
Daredevil. I mean, if you have a daredevil and a rooster tail, just with these baits that we've shown, you can catch a fish on those.
100%. I have no doubt. I mean, these are literally fishing lures that you can for the most part, put into the hands of a child with a Zepco 202 or something like that, and let them just wing it, and it's gonna happen.
Exactly. Every time y'all say I mean, I'm taking a drink. Oh God.
No,
All
no,
right,
no, I
Andrew.
need to find a different word.
Yeah.
Fucking man
I
it.
mean,
I gotta start to get on the bus.
yep, yeah. I'm known for that for sure. I'm human. What can I say? I'm only human. I'm only human.
I mean, you are only human.
I'm something. I'm something.
Part human,
Just keep
part
your
goat. We never
fishy. I was gonna say that too. Just keep your distance once you put treble hook lures in the hands of a child. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, make sure they got like somewhat of their casting down before you go and do that. Like,
hell, that's dangerous with Aaron Rodgers sitting in between you and Pat.
I didn't even notice.
Sorry, Aaron Rodgers, I had to call you out, but you almost took the goat's head off like at least 5 times, and I'm watching him going, "Oh shit, this is gonna happen." And then he goes and catches a fucking muskie and a walleye and a smallmouth on the same day.
Yeah,
it was
it was a
awesome.
pike. It was a pike. Yeah, that was
Pike,
cool.
pike muskie and a small and a walleye.
Keep wire cutters handy. Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
a fishing first aid video, top 5 fishing first aid.
yeah, that happened
No
actually.
band-aids, you pussy. No band-aids.
No band-aids. Yeah. Yeah, if you get bit by a pike, don't put band-aids on.
Fucking bleed everywhere.
Bleed everywhere. Number 3 for me. Number 3. And with number 3, we got a big old swim bait, the call shad swim bait.
Good
This
Lord,
one,
what is this thing, like 15 inches?
I don't know, you tell me.
Ugh.
But yeah, this is the Berkeley call shad. It's a form of a swim bait. They're not the only ones that make them. They can, but yeah, this is a lure or a bait that I started using this year as well. You know, Pat gave it to me. Grant gave me some pointers on how to use this thing. Like, there's some. I got it for free, but even if I paid for it, I'm still
big old gash on that thing. Wow,
dude. Yeah,
but it's
that
still
could have
holding up strong, man.
yeah, it is. I mean, it's still stretchy. I mean, like I said, Pat gave this to me. I got it for free, but even if I would have paid for this, I feel like I, got my money's worth out of it. So for me, this bait has been, this has been big for me, and everybody knows it's no secret that my favorite. I'm not spoiling anything here, saying that my favorite bait is a spinner bait, but this this has been my go-to when I have a fish. I don't know whether it's a pike or a bass hits my spinner bait, and I'll do the switch up on it. I'll grab my other rod with this thing on there, and I'll chuck it out there just to give them something different. And yeah, this has been my go-to switch up, and it produced for me.
I feel like I remember seeing you trick a pig.
Yes,
like
the 35 incher on Narnia, Lake Narnia.
Yes.
Yeah, I was out there throwing my spinnerbait, had a big slam, and I remembered you told me, you're like, hey, sometimes switch it up, just try it, And so I grabbed the rod with this on there, and I hucked it out, and I was, giving it some action, and boom, she freaking hit that thing so hard. She was hooked up.
But that was after a hit with a spinnerbait, correct?
Yes, but I don't know if she
swipe or a follow or.
Yep, exactly.
Gotcha.
So I totally changed it up, gave it, this looks nothing like a spinnerbait. It's totally different. And yeah, she fell for it. She fell for it.
Yeah, I
and
think
so yeah,
interesting. Show the people the way that hooking system on that cull shad works, where it's putting it up into the belly. Like, get a little bit closer look and how that works.
So yeah, when they as you can see, I don't know if you can see the hook goes up into the belly. And so when that fish grabs onto this thing, they grab it and this thing will detach.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's there's one more hook when they do grab it to hook them. Maybe it helps partially save your bait too, but
I would
yeah, so when
definitely say
that
it
thing
helps save the
detaches
bait.
off, then
And
then
it gives you the ability for changing out your hook and swivel system. I mean, if you get a bent up hook,
true.
uh,
Yes,
it,
exactly.
it
Yeah,
looks like they did some researching with that, instead of giving your fishermen, a one and done plastic bait.
yeah, exactly. Because I mean, yeah, these things they're not the cheapest lure out there, bait out there.
Mhm. Like
But I mean, these one,
$13 to $15, somewhere around there, I think it
yeah,
is.
somewhere around there. Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, I would say 13 to 16 for like the average. Unless you're buying them from Japan or something, a Japanese one or something like that. But
Hell, those Japanese ones can actually be really expensive.
yeah,
The
but yeah,
Japanese bait.
they this
Yeah.
thing's held up pretty good. I've caught a few fish. There's some big gouges in here.
The tail's unique on that too, I was noticing. It's
Yes,
got
it's
like
got like
some type of hex pattern or something.
yeah, and they're like little. They're like
Almost
little.
honeycomb looking.
Yeah, it's honey. Yeah, exactly. That's a good word. That's the word I was kind of looking for. But yeah, there's like a honeycomb, and I don't know if
Huh.
that helps with durability or creates some kind of action in the water, like bubbles or.
Yeah, I'd definitely say some type of vibration or something on that. I have not got a chance to use one of those. I saw them in the store, but like getting my hands on them, I don't even think I noticed that honeycomb on there before. That's definitely an interesting pattern.
Yeah, this has been I've been looking at Bass Pro, and maybe I just need to finally ask somebody for one because I can't find them there. I found one brand. I don't know if it was like Mega Bass or something, which I could just
Hmm.
end up getting one of those. But I do like this with the honeycomb and
You know where I
uh,
saw them at, dude? I saw them at Walmart, dude.
oh really? Yeah, I'll
Yeah, they
have to
had a
look
big
there.
old end cap in the outdoor area. The whole end cap was coal shad. That's the first time I saw them. I was like, "Oh wow, that's interesting." Like but I had knew nothing about it until I saw you start really throwing it, and I was like, "Huh," and I remember Pat had picked him up or something because you guys
Yeah,
were
that was when
starting.
we were hitting the St. Louis River.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
he picked up like bigger musky baits, and then he picked these up too. And yeah, I
Absolutely,
mean,
North Storm. It does look like a big sucker minnow. It really does.
yeah, look at that thing. Can't resist. It's all sparkly.
Uh, Making me hungry.
Yep. So that's my number three, the swim bait, call shad, whatever you call them. Um, it's a fun lure too. I mean, I'm normally just usually burning lures, burning that spinner bait. And it's fun to be able to give a lure some action, and you kind of work
I
it.
mean, we all know Fishy, like he basically coined, goat in his
Yeah,
casts per
getting
hour,
after it
like
goat
keeping
style.
track of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, exactly. How many casts per hour?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if I had to put someone in a casting contest for being out there all day winging stuff, you're my number one draft pick. I'd be dead on the shore somewhere.
I love it.
This is
All
what's
right.
funny. My number three, you actually have in front of
Oh
you
yeah,
because
that's right.
I
That's right. I
ran
remember
out
you
of
told me
them.
that. So all
Yeah, I
right, this is
ran out of them. It is the classic Johnson's Beetle Spin. That is a downsized version of the spinner bait, and it's been around forever. Um, I don't necessarily always use the two tail kicker. I usually switch over to a small grub tail myself. But man, you're talking about a bait that's been there. It's consistent. It's good for panfish, bass, whatever it goes in front of, and it's cheap. You literally can go get what you see right there at Walmart. I don't know, $2, $2.50. Uh, I use them enough that I lose them a lot, snagging them up because of that one open hook and stuff. And I went to go dig for them, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have any." But yeah, that's a solid bait. I like it. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more you can say about it. I mean,
Yeah, other than just like you said, if you want to get out there and catch fish, you want to catch, you want to get that skunk out of the boat or off the shore. This is one of those baits that'll do it. I mean,
absolutely. Your
another one
perch,
like
crappie, whatever's out there. If it
it'll catch everything.
yeah, absolutely. I just me myself like I like to change out that twin tail for a little bit more action and go to a single grub tail. That's the
Yeah, that's
one
weird. This
modification
one
that I
has
like to do.
a single tail, and these two
Really?
are like
Are you sure?
yes.
Look at that thing sideways. Look at that package right there.
Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, say for $2.50,
You're right.
you're
You're
not getting
right.
three different.
Busted. Cotton 4K.
Oh man, Jesus!
Busted.
You sir are fake
Yeah,
news.
that shows you how much I use these. That shows you how
Uh,
much I use these.
it's because you're out there throwing bigger shit for pike. You're going after that 40-incher.
I mean,
You're
you
not
never
looking.
you could catch a 40-incher on this thing.
You
You
could, but
could.
come on,
You
man.
could.
It's if you get a 40-incher on that thing, it's gonna bend the hook straight. I'm sorry. You better catch it right next to the boat and reach down and grab it real quick.
That's funny. Yeah, you're probably right.
What you got in your number 2 spot?
All right. Well, this is the first time that we've had this is the first time we've ever done it, but we're getting a return, just a different brand.
Oh,
We've
here we
got
go.
an inline spinner, a MEPS. This is a size 4, I think. But yeah, man, I love these. I love these inline spinners. They're just fish catching machines, and my favorite is going out on the river with these things. We'll go out and wade the river, and let me tell you, the smallmouth just can't resist.
That's
And
coming
going
up
back,
soon, man.
it is. And going
It
back
is
to what you
coming
were
up.
saying earlier when we were talking about it, I was trying not to talk too much about it because I knew that this was on the inline spinner was on my list as well. But like you said, it seems to like if there's current or something, it doesn't seem to affect the bait other than just it, traveling,
Yes.
sideways, just fat. Like the thing doesn't
It
twist
doesn't
or
run
turn or
foul.
anything.
It doesn't
Yeah.
foul. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's just straight the whole time, and flows with the current. But yeah, I mean, I love these inline spinners. Um, I went out many times, not many times, but I went out a handful of times out on the river wading and just tearing those smallmouth up. I mean, they
You can
just.
say many times, man, we're fishermen. But you know,
But I love it. I love the inline spinner. It's a great. We said it already. It's a great lure that stood the test of time, and
it's gonna
yeah,
continue catching fish
yeah.
forever.
It's not going anywhere. It's not going
Nope,
anywhere.
absolutely not. Oh, what do I got? Oh, my number 2. Now we're getting into stuff that you won't see goat fish a whole lot yet. We haven't convinced them yet. We're opening up some bags, but for me down here, my number 2 is the lizard. I fish this a lot. The Zoom lizard, Yum lizard, whatever it is, in June bug, pulled behind either a Carolina rig, a split shot rig with an extra wide gap hook like a Gamakatsu. I think a number 2 is what I use. Uh, pegged hook, pegged Carolina, pegged Texas rig. This is something that when your bass are in a spawning situation, there isn't much better that you can pull through a bed. Um, Me and a goat were talking the other day, and I was discussing going after spawning bass and fishing those beds, and most of the times when you throw something like this onto a bed, you're gonna pull that buck, the male bass, off of the bed. That's the first line of defense for any bed. If the female hasn't laid yet, if the female's like hanging out waiting to lay, that buck's gonna hit. One of the things that I like to do is I like to pull that buck off, and then I will have whatever means I have to, whether it's a fish gripper or anything like that, I will set that buck aside and keep working that bed and force that female to actually strike this and get your bigger fish. Um, it's one of my favorite baits for springtime bass, whether it be smallmouth or largemouth. But yeah, in the June bug color, and this is probably about a 7 inch. If they're not hitting that, they're a little bit finicky. Go down to like a 4.5. You're good to go.
Yeah, it's something I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to use now that Minnesota is doing the continuous bass season starting this year. I'm gonna have to start using some of those baits, like the lizard and the more of the worms, the Senkos or whatever. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's finesse fishing. It like it's not winging that spinner bait. We know that. We know what you like and stuff. It's a slow
yeah, but
sometimes.
sometimes that doesn't work all year round.
It
It works.
I
It
mean,
works most of the year. It
yeah,
works most of the year,
yeah.
but
It
not.
you definitely finesse for me is a lot of times with spawning fish. I like to work those finesse baits through their beds, and then in dead winter in deep water finesse baits. That's just my go-to and how to make sure that I'm getting some bites when when there's a tough situation.
Hmm. Yes. All all right. Last but not
I'm
least,
laughing here. Let's see. No big dick Susans, no granny fannies, no whistling.
no whistling kitties, no
Uh,
screaming memes. South Wisconsin kayak fishing. Hello, welcome in. That's Swift, right? Thanks for coming in, Timothy. Says a 45-pound striper in December. That's nice.
Holy shit, that thing, dude. Those stripers, they're almost scary when they hit, especially when you're fishing like jerk baits for them. Because in my experience, they seem to hit close to banks or close to boats, and you're ripping baits like pretty quick, and they'll just smack it at the last minute and scare the shit out of you. You just see the silver flag just nail it. Change your underwear, get back to it.
Yeah, those things get huge too. I mean, I've had pike scare me, like hitting it at the last second, but they ain't no 45. They ain't no 45 pounds either.
Hey, yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Old
Yeah,
granddad out there waiting for it, or I should say, grandma. Grandma gets big.
that's right.
Granddad
That's
dies.
right. The trophy lake. All right, we're gonna hop into my last one, and I guarantee you, none of you will be able to figure out what my favorite fishing lure is.
Is it one of those the funny ones? I see the spoons that are shaped like a dick.
No,
No,
hell
okay. I'm
no,
just
hell
making
no,
sure.
hell no.
Okay,
This is goat style, baby. This is goat style
there it is.
in all its glory. The spinner
Oh,
bait. This is
dude,
actually a 1 ounce one. I think these blades are
that's the
freaking.
Northland.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
this is a 1 ounce one. Bass Pro only sells these in 1 ounce,
what do they call it? The
and
Northland Reef Runner? Is it the Reef Runner?
the Reed Runner. Yeah,
Reed
close
Runner.
enough.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but man, this is my favorite lure. I don't know. It's versatile. It's versatile. This thing will cut through weeds. Um, it grabs weeds too, but it doesn't have those trebles on there, so you're less likely to. But that's why I don't
Dude,
really like using the 1 ounce as much because it's so heavy. It has a tendency to go down, and it's heavy, so it'll catch those weeds. My favorite is 3/4 ounce, but even sometimes when I'm using a 3/4 ounce and it's really weedy, I'll drop it down to a 1/2 ounce or a 3/8, and my favorite colors for these are uh, white. This one, I love this one. If something that's white, I mean, even just a plain white one, those will work. But this one's got a little bit of black speckle in there, little black lines on some of these tassels. But I also like the white and red combo. This was made also by Crappie Man Jigs, custom made.
Yeah, isn't that the Chaos Goat?
Yeah, this is
Like
the Chaos
the
Goat
Chaos Goat
special,
custom?
and
Oh, the
and
special.
I ripped it off from Strike King. They
Yeah,
make
they have their bleeding series.
the bleeding series, and I
Yep.
used those for years before even stepping up my size on spinner baits. And those ones I've only found them in like 3/8 ounce. So I mean, you can get
Yeah,
big
Strike
pipe.
King's bass, man. You're
Yeah,
not going to see a
exactly.
whole lot of that 1
Yeah,
ounce stuff, one and a
exactly.
half. And a
And
lot of times the bass stuff, they don't have those closed loops that you like to use because you
no,
got the steel
the
leaders.
the leader, yes, exactly, and that's
Yeah.
another big thing. That's another big thing too with those Strike Kings. Yeah, it's like you said, they're for bass. So yeah, they don't have this closed loop here, which if you don't have this and you're using a steel leader or any kind of like lead,
Nightmare.
it is a nightmare. I mean, it just gets tangled up all the
Yeah,
time. Like,
you're constantly fouling, fouling up your hook, fouling up your lead. It is, yeah, that's a must when it comes to steel leader and spinnerbait fishing for sure.
yep. But yeah, I mean, this I don't know. The proof is in the pudding. But if you go watch my live streams, I'm casting this thing
Uh,
90% of 99% of the time. Like the bass and pike just can't get enough of this.
I'm sure
Um,
if we went through the chat and looked right now, enough of us have probably watched hours of you throwing that bait that if we needed to qualify for FIMLA as a group, we would. We would have enough hours watching you for FIMLA.
yeah. Uh,
I'm
I
qualified.
don't
I'm
know.
filing out the FIMLA paperwork. I will share with everybody for those payments. We
That,
need a day off. We're gonna use a
that,
FIMLA day. Go fishing.
that's that's what I started fishing. My best friend, he's the one that got me into fishing. That's what he was throwing, and that's just what I started with, and it's always worked for me for catching bass and pike up here in Minnesota. So those are my top five.
I've got this one's kind of a funny one to me. It's not really funny, but it really goes back to my roots, which I shit on all the time now.
Yeah, you do.
I shit on it just because I can't stand how much I can't. I gotta be careful with what I say because I don't want to piss anybody off because I do, but at the same time, I don't really
Yeah, I
care
can
because
kick you from here. I think so. You be careful.
I grew up as most people in Minnesota fishing walleye. Walleye fishing is either live bait or finesse fishing. We got into the spinner rigs and stuff later on and trolling and everything, but my number one is a very tiny 4.5 inch robo worm fished in a drop shot, split shot rig, finesse jig head. There is not a finesse rig that I won't put a robo worm onto. It's always got to be the robo worm. I don't know what it is with the salt pattern. I don't know if we can see on there if it'll pick it up, but there's a salt patch on the bottom of these, and they're very soft. Um, I like it in Aaron's Magic, Bold Bluegill. It is my go-to, whether it's smallmouth, largemouth. If I get a chance to fish for walleye, I'm running it behind Lindy rigs. If I'm in rivers, I'm using 16th ounce, 8th ounce, sometimes 132nd ounce, football style jig heads, ball jig heads. It has enough salt that it will stand up on end in rocks, weeds, everything. That is my number one go-to bait. When I need a fish, this thing pays off for me. 90%
10 out of
the time.
10 times.
Yeah, I will say 10 out of 10.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Where what they say, fishermen say, they're all fishermen are liars except you and me.
That's right. That's right.
That's what it is. You guys are all liars except for you and me. But yeah, that's my number one bait. I shit on, like I said, I shit on walleye fishing, just because of how much money is put into it and the years of
You spent a
catching.
lot of you spent
I
a lot
spent
of
a,
years doing that.
I did. I
You
spent
you
my
met a lot of people, a lot of different
I
guys,
fished with
and
some people and stuff, and worked charter boats as a teenager in the summer, and worked, with guides in the summer and everything else, and it was all walleye nonstop. And the catch and keep mentality, and just seeing how much my home state, Minnesota, sinks into that fish when there's so many other great fish out there that they're constantly just. I don't want to get on my soapbox. Fuck, like
it's
they
okay.
will shove
No, we
them
all have our own
fuckers.
opinions. We're all
You
entitled to
know,
our own opinions.
you spit in a parking lot, and the fucking Minnesota DNR is trying to fucking put walleye in that spit. It drives me crazy. It just,
I,
I right there, fishy 3-piece walleye dinner. I like. Don't get me wrong, I love
they're
to eat them
tasty. That's what
fuckers.
I mean.
Oh,
That's a big part of
absolutely.
it.
But as
They're
far as
tasty.
fishing them, it's like catching a wet sock. It's
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, what do I got? Do I got a Walmart bag on the end of my line?
I could have. Is this a
Oh, it's a
T-shirt on the
walleye.
end of here?
A little head shake, that's it, and then it comes up. It's just not my. I enjoy them. I enjoy them for their species. I enjoy them for eating. I enjoy
Yeah,
what
they're
they
part of
do
the
for.
native, fish species around here, and
Yeah, no. I enjoy what they do for the economy, for all the fishing resorts, everything else. I just don't like seeing so much of what is a limited resource of dollars for Minnesota DNR. You look at a pie graph and see how much of that percentage of all those tax dollars that are out there actually goes to conservation, the waters, fish stocking stuff. It's a very small
Mhm.
percentage, and then you have one species that's taking up a very
Yep.
large chunk of it.
Mhm.
And I don't know how well the stocking works for it and stuff. A lot of those lakes are naturally reproducing. Um, it's it's a sore spot with me, but ultimately, when it comes down to catching fish, it is where I started 40 years ago, and I still use those tactics to this day on other species.
Yeah, because I mean, there's something to that as well. Like it just doing certain things will catch you other fish too. Um, like you're like Jesus, I'm having a brain fart here. But yeah, using those techniques that you've learned over the years, that applies to many different species. Not just one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's reading, reading structures, whatever. It all comes into the fish. If one fish is using a structure, another one's going to be using it. Maybe not at the same time, but at a different period of time.
Yep.
So I mean, that wraps up the top fives for each of us. What else we
Yes.
got going on here? What do we got
Nothing.
going on, Chad?
That's it.
Yeah,
Everybody's want me to do a heavy metal stream,
is that
which
what it is?
yep. Everybody wants some metal before they go to bed,
See,
which which I could do if the people want.
they
I'm a
want.
people pleaser. I like to give the people what they want. I could
I,
spin a couple records.
Dad rock
I'll
ending. That's
Dad rock ending.
you got some Eddie Rabbit to spin for us.
Eddie Rabbit, no. I don't
Yeah,
even know
come
who
on,
that
man.
is.
Yeah, you do.
Eddie Money?
No, Eddie Rabbit. Quit lying.
I don't know
He's
Eddie
trying to
Rabbit.
pretend. He's trying to
I
pretend.
don't know Eddie Rabbit.
You got your
Sing me a song.
Pantera
Sing me a song.
pajamas on. I'm not
Sing me a
singing.
song.
Come on.
Come on, Grant.
I'll start stripping before I start singing.
That's great. But yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that just about that wraps it up for us, I think. I don't really have much else to say. We
Well,
went
I
through our
mean,
top.
you got some new stuff for the season coming up for everyone
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
we
I
covered a
kind
little
of
bit.
talked about it a little on my last when I was jamming some tunes and stuff. But I got a fish finder, depth
Not
finder,
just a
whatever.
not just a
Uh,
fish finder.
yeah, the
He's got
Garmin, the
Yeah, he's
Garmin
got the
Striker.
Garmin
I'll
Striker
show it up.
Vivid
I'll show it up.
5CV. The
Oh
5CV.
yeah,
Goat's moving into the 21st century with down scan and GPS, man. Like you're gonna be doing some things. Like I scared him. What happened? Is he going to find that Eddie Rabbit?
no, no. No,
He's
but
been
it's. I
moving
mean,
it. He's been
it's gonna
moving.
be a game changer. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
game
dude.
changer.
Dude, the thing has a map create function on there. So you're creating maps while you're out on the water with 1 foot contour lines.
Yeah, I
That's,
mean,
dude, it's going to be pretty amazing for what you're going to be able to chart on all these waters that you know the depths that you're looking at, but you don't know for sure what you're looking at, and being able to
well,
go back and mark those
it's hard to
spots.
tell. It's hard to tell, when you're out there on the water and
Well, the
eight
thing you
feet.
might not be, yeah, you might not be seeing weeds, and they could be just weed. You could be running over weeds that are 7, 8 feet underwater, holding
Exactly.
those fish right there, and you've been passing over it. It's
Yep.
definitely a game changer.
It's exciting. Yeah, it'll be really cool to get out there and use it and have a good tool to help me grow and learn more, because I think you can learn from fish when you're using stuff like this. You can see what's under you. You can see,
You're getting a peek into the world, in a
exactly.
different way. Yeah, definitely. What about the new rig, the Illuma Goat?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a 16 and a half foot John boat. Um, it needs a it's my dad's boat, and it needs a bilge pump and just the what the hell is it, the tank, what the hell is that thing called, the live well pump.
Oh, okay, the live well pump. Yeah.
Yeah, just both those pumps
Sorry,
are
I just
out.
started calling it the Illuma Goat just because
Yeah,
it just fits.
the Illuma goat, yep, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That I
we'll
mean,
have that thing out on the water. I think I'm still gonna mainly be taking my kayak out. I just love being in that little kayak, and
the ease of access for kayak is definitely there, versus
even though
trailer.
mine's heavy, but I mean, you know how the accesses are around here. They're super nice. Like even on a
Yeah,
tiny little lake, like the accesses are really easy to just get a kayak, pull it out of my truck and, get out there. Lickety
absolutely.
split.
I think it just like um I think it changes the game for you a little bit. Maybe some early season, late season, there in choppier water conditions
Yep.
where you're not running quite the risk of cold water conditions and fishing, but you're able to go out there and hit those waters at those times, or even at nighttime being a little bit more visible
Yes.
on a bigger boat versus being low, sitting to the water and having drunk
Exactly.
idiots around you,
Yep.
putting you at risk.
Yeah.
I
I
think it's
mean, me and Pat had a close call out on a lake earlier this year. There were some kids in an aluminum boat, and they were just flying straight towards us, and I'm like trying to get out of the way. Pat's like waving down. Luckily the kid, uh not the driver, but his friend or whatever was like, hey, 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 like, so luckily he saw that Pat was
and
waving to.
every year, how many times do you get to read that news story?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be that news story. You don't want to be that
No.
news story and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it does give that opportunity and to at least be out there in something a little bit more visible in different conditions.
Yeah, and it's easier to get up and stand around on a boat too than the
Dude,
kayak. I mean,
well, that's true, man. You really get to change up the ability to fish some of the stuff with different technique and in those standing positions.
Being able to work a jerk bait a lot easier than
Absolutely.
it's hard to work one of those when you're sitting down in a kayak, like
that sideways movement versus a straight down twitch and stuff like that. It's just it changes that bait's ability to function completely. So yeah, I mean it's just a nice addition to, you know, putting other people in the boat that want to go out there, you know, like
Yep. Yeah, and it's
it,
not nothing. It's got a 25 horse motor on there, so it runs really good with two people. Three, it kind of, you know, it gets a little bogged down, but you can still take a few people out there and
so
have
you're
enough room
telling me that if I show up, it's just gonna be me and you, and it's still bogged down. I'm blaming your winter weight, not
I didn't
mine.
say I didn't say
Yeah,
that.
I could see it, just like you said, special guest. Mhm.
You are special.
Yeah, we all know what you mean by that, buddy. That's all right. If everyone doesn't know, this is he's my adopted younger brother. I give him so much shit all the time. I say all the shit that nobody wants to say to him, and he's like, "Fuck you, Grant. I hate you."
Yeah, I do. I
Anyway.
do hate you.
He does. That's why, dude, if you're on a live, you'll be like, "Oh, so and so, yeah, blah 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 blah." I'll come in, he'll be like, "What's up, Grant?" It's because, you know, he's like,
I'm
"Fuck,
waiting. I'm just
this
waiting.
fucking dick is here again."
Grant's watching me with eagle eyes, just waiting to criticize me on
Yeah,
something.
you know, you fucking set the hook hard enough, bitch. You know, like whatever. You know, you better swing that rod or what. You
You
know,
tried flipping a trophy smallmouth into your boat.
absolutely. Just call you on it right away. You know. Like I picked on you about your playlist the other day because I was like, when I was sick, I was like, I'm gonna watch some freaking goat, you know. And I start watching his playlist, and I at my text, I'm like 40 minutes into this playlist. It's the first video on there, and I'm like, what the fuck? We're 40 minutes in, and he hasn't caught a fish yet. And I text him, I'm like, motherfucker, did you fucking upload a fucking video that's gonna make me watch 40, 50, 2 hours of you not catching a fish as the first video on your playlist? And he's like, you motherfucker, like you're like the brother I never wanted, like just fucking being a dick to me.
Well, I told
That's
you,
what I
read the
did, man.
description too. I posted how many fish I caught in that video.
Motherfucker, you expect me to read? Like
Yeah.
seriously. I
Yeah, you
can't
should.
read. I
You
can't
got
read.
glasses. You should be able to read perfectly.
Just
Put
because of
them
glass means I can see. I can't read. Anyways, if you're
it's
gonna
good
spin
fun.
videos, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this live and start a new one.
Why don't you just kick me out of here and you can just continue on with this
So
one?
the screen will be smaller and
Are you
I'll just
serious? That's how
yeah,
it works?
yeah. Yeah. So if you leave, it'll put me
Oh,
like in the
come on,
center,
YouTube.
but it's a smaller screen. But anyways, that'll help like split up, the fishing content with
With
the
the
heavy
metal,
metal madness.
just wait.
So
Yeah, start drinking. You just watch. We'll get them all liquored up again.
I don't
Oh,
know. I don't think so.
yeah, you better go grab a beer, dude.
I will. I will. All right, but everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. This was a lot of
Yeah,
fun,
thanks, guys.
and we'll come up with some more ideas and get some more fishing talk and topics out to you guys while
Get
I
some
sit and
more
wait.
special guests. There's plenty of special people out there. I see them all the time. They're
There
all
are
over the
there are
place.
there are a
They're
lot of
like
cool people that could come on here and
the guy with the toilet seat head. You know,
yo
I
firearms. Thank you with the
yeah,
bronze medal.
Yannick.
But yeah,
He's gonna start a new live and start spinning some records.
yes. So everybody, thanks again for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, Grant, for showing up. Good idea.
So fucking, I showed up. That's all I could do.
You showed up,
Don't
dude.
expect much. Don't expect much. I show up. I'm
No,
like anyone else. As long as you show up, you got a job.
that's
Nowadays,
that
that's how that
exactly.
works.
Yeah, that's half the battle right there is finding someone to show up. So, all right,
Oh my
guys, we'll
god.
see. We'll see you in a few minutes. I'm gonna end this here, and I'm gonna spin some records. So take care, everybody. For
All
those
right.
that come and tag along, I'll see you later.
Later.